Hey there, Dean here in Dean's shop, and in a previous video I made a couple of wren houses, and I had said in that video that I'm going to make like 10 of them. So I'm going to make 10 of them really quick, and I'll show you some tricks on making a bunch of things at the same time. I've already pre-glued these up, and it did take a few days because it takes a few hours for the glue to dry. So I've glued up, well, 20 pieces into 10 pieces, and I know from experience that I can get one birdhouse per piece that I glued up. So that's 10. But I've had to take some, I have to make 20 6x6s because that's 2 for the roof per birdhouse, 10 of one side and 30 of another. So that's what I'm going to do with my handy dandy chop saw. I love this thing. It happens so quick. It's one of my favorite tools. But first I have to trim off a little bit to make it all nice and square. So that's what I'm going to do with all of them, but we're going to do it in time lapse because it's so much better. All right. First you got to plug it in because otherwise it don't work. Okay, let's try that again. Ooh, I'm going to do the other side. That one's really bad. Well, like I said, I have a lot of this wood, and I still have a lot of this wood, even after doing this. Let's see. One of the things I'm going to do is get the wood ready and keep it nearby, but being careful with these chop, because once you get going, you're just flying along doing the same cut, and you don't want to make a mistake. Okay, now that I've got a good edge on them, I'm going to, actually I'm going to strap this down. Okay, so this is nice and attached, everything's solid. Now I've got to make 30 4¼ inch pieces. So I mounted this jig so I don't have to measure each one. Right at 4¼ inches. Ding, 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 ding. Okay. That's one of the tricks. We gotta cut a lot of one particular size, set it up for that size, and just keep hitting that spot. So. Two, 4, 6, 8. There's 8. I need 30. Holy crow. Eight, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. 12 more. Okay, so now I need 20 6x6s. Oops, is that 6x6? Double check my measurements. Yes, they are 6x6. So I need 20 of those. need 7 more. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, so 10 of those. Oh, I think I'm going to have more than enough. I only need 10 of those. Okay, that was one cut. Now I have to make another cut to make this 2 4 1/4. So now I'm going to cut that 4 1/4. So these are the small ones. These are the 10. There's only one side that's smaller, and that's. So 120 cuts later was 120 cuts. Thank goodness for a nice sharp blade, and I believe it's still sharp because this cedar is pretty soft. So anyway, so there's 10 half of the roofs, the other 10 half of the roofs, so it's all roof. There's 30 that are 3 sides, and 1 that is 1 side. So, I think that was the hard part. So one of the things to, as you saw before earlier when I had this, one of the things to make a whole bunch of something is to have a jig. So you can just go bip, 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 boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? Bip, 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 boom, boom. So this wood is pretty really soft, and there's not many knots, and even if there was, it wouldn't. Like, it's really quick. Look, I got 10. But I have 9. So you guys, anybody who wants a birdhouse, otherwise I'm going to sell them for $5. But I still have one more thing I got to do. And that is all of these. Each one is a different size for the birdhouse. So I'm going to lay these out. Plus, I also like, I mean, this is sort of like knolling in a way, but if you don't know what knolling is, I'm sort of doing it. You just kind of put things in order, especially if, like, I guess for most people it'd be like IKEA. And you get IKEA and you get all these screws and nuts and all that stuff, and you got 30, 40 of them, and you just kind of lay them out. There's different sizes, just lay them all out in a nice row. That way when you need a piece, there it is, instead of digging through a bag and getting another one. Knolling, I'll do a thing on that maybe. Maybe I'll do a video on that. All right, so I like that. That's from an old spoon. This is from an old fork. I'm just going to do these randomly. That's from a sink stopper. That one's going to be right there. This is an old opposite end screwdriver for whatever. Most of these things are vintage. This is aluminum. I don't even know what it is. There's a spring inside of it. I don't know. But it's going to go on there. I'm going to pick my favorite ones. Here's a big old spike. I'll use that. That's, for some reason, nails that are twisted. And then, so a cotter pin, screwdriver, or a broken drill. I think this is more aesthetically old than these two. So each one needs a different sized hole, obviously. And I'm going to do that. I'm not necessarily going to show you. I'm just going to do it. And I'll show you the finished products, plural. And we'll go from there. Okay, I've gotten almost all of these. Well, I've gotten almost all of these together. And however, I'm going to use super glue, but I don't have any up here. I must have taken it. I've got like 3 or 4 bottles of super glue, but I don't have any in the shop. What's going on here? All right, so I had drilled the holes. I had put the perches in, and it's funny because I can't get that one on the end, and I can't get it back out, but I wonder if the bird will be upset by that. I know I'd be. But so I'm going to call that one done. So I'm just going to dip a little bit inside my 5-minute epoxy, which means I got 5 minutes to do all these. And we'll go from there. Okay, get that on straight. And 2. This one. Okay. Put some in the hole. That one's going to be done. Put this on. We put that right here. And whoop, not that far. Well, we don't have a choice. Okay. I'm going to call that one done. If you can't get it out, it's done, right? No, these are not metaphors. Freaking dirty-minded people. That one I'll do later. This is the one with the twisty. Now I usually use just 5-minute epoxy because usually the stuff I'm doing only takes 5 minutes. So if I think I needed to do something more precise or it took more time, I would have gotten a 10-minute epoxy. Double the time right there. but I very rarely need that. And I also take my beer 12 packs and cut it all up into squares, and there's a pile of them over by on my desk, so that, hey, you always have something when you need to do it instead of trying to find something. Did that make any sense? Okay. So, I'm going to get the super glue and do that. And so these are all done. That is how you make 10 of something. It's always handy to have some extra wood around, so you can make a jig to make your job that much quicker. But concentrate. Don't start thinking, oh, how else am I going to do this video? How am I going to edit this part and blah 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 blah. No, don't think about other stuff like I did, because now I only have 9. There's only 9 because I fucked one up. But that's okay. It's still pretty cool. So that's another video from Dean's shop, and y'all have a good day. Be careful out there, because man, what the hell? It was 90 degrees a few days ago, and now it's 45, 50. Come on! Because it's now getting fall, supposedly. I haven't been in the shop that much because up until recently, it was hot as hell in here. But I do have a bunch of other videos that I just need to edit, and I'm going to do that and get to it, and see you out there. Bye now.